Let's go back to one of our developing stories. Cleanup operations are still underway at the site of the Boksburg explosion, and today Prasa officials are on site to inspect the damage to the railway lines on the overhead bridge. The death toll from the explosion has risen to 18, and 9 of the victims were staff members at the OR Tambo Memorial Hospital. Our reporter Govan Whittles is monitoring the story on the ground and joins us now live. Govan, very good morning to you. As the cleanup operations are still underway, the death toll has certainly increased. What's happening on the ground in terms of those who may have lost their homes?
Morning, yeah, on the ground here, people are counting the cost of what's happened. It's truly devastating. The blast, the explosion that happened here hasn't only claimed the life of 18 people and injured almost 30 people, but it's really sent devastation across the community. What we're seeing today is a response from different leaders in the community to not only comfort those that have been affected by deaths in their families and check on those who are in hospital from those severe burns, but also just to see where they can respond to help the people who have lost some of their property in this explosion. We're coming to you from the site of the explosion. You'll see that it's still cordoned off at the moment. The members of the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa, Prasa, are here to inspect some of the damage that you'll see in screen there. But there's also a lot of other emergency services personnel who've arrived here and are plotting a way forward. They're checking the site to see whether it's safe for people to be this close, and they're doing an assessment of how long it'll take before they can open up this area again. But then the community leaders are also in this area hoping to respond. The families understandably devastated, many of them worried about their loved ones who've sustained severe burns. The Gauteng Health Department saying that 24 people sustained severe injuries. A number of them were outside the ICU drop-off location of the Tambo Memorial Hospital when the blast happened. The emergency services say the blast flames reached 500 meters in radius around the bridge when it happened, and 8 of the 18 people that have died were nurses who were outside the wards when the hospital blast happened. And today, as I said, we're seeing a lot of responses from people who are laying flowers here, coming to show their support to the community. Let's speak to one of them now. Newzroom is the regional secretary for the ANC in Ekurhuleni. She's arrived here because they hope to respond to some of the family members who are suffering at this time. Newzroom, thank you so much for your time. Just tell us what the ANC in Ekurhuleni is planning to do here today.
Thank you. Greetings to your viewers, Govan. So our ANC BC in this ward and neighboring wards have been on the ground since day one. They've been going to see their families. So today the plan of action is for the ANC in Ekurhuleni as a regional structure to go and visit some of these families, because we understand that yes, it's a festive season. However, this is a very devastating time for all of these families. What they are going through is not something that we can imagine anyone to go through, and we believe it's time for us as a nation to come together to show our support to these families, for us to stand with them during their time of tragedy, and to show that indeed the ANC cares for its people.
We know that some of the matron of the Tambo Memorial Hospital has asked for some assistance. We know that the MEC of Human Settlements, Lebo Maile, will be coming here later to inspect the damage to the hospital. What kind of support will you be offering to the families?
Okay, so what we need to first assess is what the situation of the families are. And we will also be speaking to the government officials, like you said, that the MEC is coming today. We've also reached out to the Department of Social Development to see what can be done to assist some of these families, because some have lost their belongings and some find themselves in quite a tragic situation.
Thank you so much. Let's leave it there. Newzroom is the regional secretary for the ANC in Ekurhuleni. You'll see some of the flowers that were laid here. there's been an outpouring of support for these families. It's truly tragic what's happened here, but it's inspiring that the community of Boksburg and the surrounding wards are coming together to try and offer some relief and support to those who've been affected. There's a lot to assess here, not only the damage but also the homes of the people who were staying in the blast radius of this explosion by the gas tanker. The meeting by the emergency services is still underway, and you'd see many of their trucks are lined in the street here, and we're expecting them to offer a more substantive briefing on what exactly needs to be done going forward to respond to this. Of course, many people are still processing exactly what happened, so it will take a while before they're able to come to grips with the scale of the intervention that's required here. But we do expect some of that information later on in the day. We'd certainly be able to get a clearer sense on the kind of repair that's required to the Tambo Memorial Hospital, which isn't receiving patients at the moment after that visit by the Human Settlements MEC later this morning. For now, reports back to you.
Very well, Govan. Let's leave it there for now as we continue throughout the course of this morning to get an update on the ground as community members are now trying to piece their lives back together. Cleanup operations underway in Boksburg. We will, of course, be taking you there throughout the course of the day.